5 symptoms of an omega-3 and 6 deficiency that you should know. Omega-3 and 6 essential fatty acids are vital in any healthy diet. This is because our body cannot produce them, and because they were basic components of the structure of our cells. You might never have stopped to think about this until now. However, curious as it may seem, many people tend to forget about them. They are usually found in fats, specifically those in avocados, fish, peanuts, eggs, olives. We're afraid of eating them because they make us fat, but in reality, our body needs a regular dose of these healthy fats. This is because they serve multiple functions and processes that are vital for our health, including metabolism. Today, we propose that you increase your intake of omega-3 and omega-6 essential fatty acids. You'll notice the difference and your body will be grateful for it. What actually are omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids? We know that there are many products that are artificially enriched with omega-3 and omega-6 out there nowadays. There are smoothies, milks and butters with these added components. This helps, we can't deny it. However, given that our body doesn't produce them, the ideal option is to go for natural sources like salmon, nuts, linseed or broccoli. Linoleic acid, omega-6, is the most well-known long-chain fatty acid, which is mostly found in all types of seeds, dried fruits and oils such as sunflower oil. On the other hand, omega-3 fatty acids are found in oily fish, seafood, legumes, olive oil, nuts and almonds. Both omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids are structural components of cellular membranes and are needed for an infinite number of organic processes. They are also an important source of energy. Symptoms of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acid deficiency. 1. Dry skin. Without a doubt, one of the most typical clinical signs of a deficiency of essential fatty acids is dry skin. This is very common in children when they are young if they do not eat as they should. Skin problems are often the direct result of not eating enough omega-3 and omega-6. When this happens, we are more susceptible to infections and to poor healing of wounds. 2. Premature births. Even though the causes of the increase in rates of premature births are not precisely clear, factors such as the mother's age, tobacco use, stress and low levels of omega-3 and omega-6 could be some of the triggers. This type of fats favor the correct development of the fetus during pregnancy. They are like exceptional quality gasoline that ensures correct cell function and the assembly processes that are necessary for a baby to reach full term. We know that diet is key during pregnancy, and elements such as vitamin D, calcium and essential fatty acids are undeniable allies. 3. Heart problems. Eating foods rich in omega-6 helps to create an incredible protective effect for the heart. They offer us energy and they help to reduce cholesterol as well as triglycerides. For their part, omega-3 fatty acids reduce the risk of suffering from thrombosis, reduce the growth of atherosclerotic plaque and help to regulate inflammation. It is important to bear this in mind and to try to consume these more natural sources of these sorts of fats. 4. Extreme tiredness. Never forget this. In no weight loss diet can you or should you ever exclude the consumption of fats completely, especially those from omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Among other problems, one thing this would cause is an acute lack of energy. Many of our calories should come from fats, so it is essential to include them in our dishes every day in fair and reasonable quantities. You will have more energy. 5. Greater probability of developing inflammatory diseases. When we say inflammatory diseases, we are talking about rheumatoid arthritis, for example. The main virtue of foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids is that they relieve inflamed joints and morning stiffness. They reduce swelling and pain, acting as effective natural anti-inflammatories. However, remember that it is important to eat them daily. The benefits are found in consistency. To conclude, we know that you've heard about omega-3 and omega-6 on multiple occasions. It's important to remember that this is not about a fashion in eating, this is about well-being and quality of life. So, get started straight away by increasing your intake of these foods rich in healthy fats.